evening, Vietnam. Oh, no. Wait,
Whoa, man, scared me. Scared me from behind.
Hold on.
I can hear your voice from back behind me. I've got.
I apologize for the slight delay. It was on my end. The lesson microphone wasn't working.
I've got two new mics coming. I got one the cheap one, and I got one that's a little better, but it's not going to be better than the one I'm using right now. But it's my outdoor mic. I've got one set up for. I want a mic when I'm outside, so I bought a cheap one. Then I bought another one with a sound card. We'll see which one stays and which one goes. One's going to be a little more extensive, and the other one's not.
What are you having for dinner there? That looks like instant diarrhea.
It's acai bowl. I'm on my own for dinner tonight, I was told. Everybody went out to eat.
Except for you.
Yep. They said, we're going out without you. I don't think anybody complained too much about that. Right. Saves them $50. We're ruthless in our family.
So how does my sound? How do I sound?
Sounds good. Sounds good. I hear good. How's everybody reading them loud and clear?
I'm seeing some braille out there in the chat. That's why I'm wondering.
That's Ben. He's just typing. He's just typing in Morse code. Ben's just doing Morse code. Okay, we got.
Now you're gonna have to explain, what Morse code is for the youngsters in the chat.
Morse code, dots and dashes. A dash is a.
That's how the world communicated previous to satellite feet and internet.
For a very short period of time. Morse code didn't have to go for I guess it was a good 40 years. But they were already experimenting with other things.
Well, you don't have to have Morse code for your ham license anymore. At least not for the technician's license.
If I had to know Morse code to be a ham operator, I wouldn't be a ham operator. I'm sure there's apps now that'll do it for you, where you can just type it in your phone and you just hold it up.
Well,
probably.
I'm just going to say this much. Morse is also a slang word for ass in German or in Lower German, up in the north where I'm from.
Moass?
Morse. Morse.
Moass. I'd say moass. Where I'm from, we exaggerate all language. So from the northern parts, when you're close to Canada, everything gets extra emphasis. All right, so Tech Tuesday doesn't seem like a Tuesday.
It don't seem like anything here.
Yeah, this part of the year kind of drags for me because I'm just kind of buying time. Kids aren't doing much at work, and no matter how much
it's on the home stretch, they're all trying to finish up their assignments that were due 3 months ago.
Yeah, and then no matter how many times I tell them not to do something, they just keep doing it. So do not turn me in stuff through my email. Do not do it. I told every class.
You planted the idea in their head. They only catch every other word.
Email. Don't give me over email. I want to give them email. I've got my email box has got 3,000 messages in it. And I said, if you want to get lost in those 3,000 messages, just keep sending me stuff.
But I emailed it to you.
Well, the problem is if you don't turn stuff in on time, I turn off the assignment in Canvas, so then they can't turn it in that way. So I said, you're going to have to bring it in to me personally. And that takes extra effort. And then their parents take their phone.
So I'd say hello to everybody that didn't make it into the chat so far. We got Sunrise, we got Eating More Possum, we have Lee, we have Ben, Copy Jim, and who else? Michael, Mikey,
Sunrise, Benty, yep. Woody is in my.
Frank is here. Woody. Hey, Paul. And I think that about wraps it up for now. Welcome, y'all. Thank you for stopping by. Today we're going to play a bit more techie. So we're going to start on new arrivals.
Uh-oh.
Which one shall we begin with? We got new arrivals. We got
Firefly Nano.
We got a Firefly.
Hex. We got that.
Let's start with the Firefly, why don't we? Let me bring that up here on the screen so we can all see what I'm seeing.
We got the Flying Pig by Tomzon. Come on. Doesn't everybody want one of those? The Flying Pig.
I thought we already had a Flying Pig. Oh, no, that was the Gap RC P16.
These guys are, yeah, that's about the size of a 2-inch whoop. But little 1S kid's toy.
Hold on,
but they gave it to the
put you. Let me put you on full, so we can really enjoy your. Whoop! What the hell?
My kid's toy.
Your kid's toy. Let me remove that, and then we'll.
There you go. It's okay. That's It's about a 2.5-inch prop. Maybe I'm closer to more of a 2 with a 1S. That camera does nothing because there is no camera. I have no idea why they put a camera in there. It does have a optical flow sensor though. So anytime they put an optical flow sensor in, it makes the toy fun because you can fly it indoors. So I'm going to fly the crap out of this and have a little bit of fun with it.
It even has ears on it. Seriously?
They literally call they call it the Flying Pig. So, this is typical, Chinese wizardry of language. And they figure that we would love to play with
the wizardry of language. That's something they need to work on.
Look at this. This looks like a face. I think that looks like an owl or something.
You need to get a set of googly eyes and put them on top of each one of the controllers.
Yeah, so believe it or not, these little toys they move quite fast. So they're actually worth doing. I was like, oh crap, I don't want to fly that. I don't want to do that. But they move really fast, and for the 1 hour that I'll fly this thing, it's going to be a fun hour. So, and that's what she said.
Does she have an opinion on that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go over and.
But micro quads.
Look at the micro
builds. This is my big dilemma with micro builds. I can't fly them because digital hasn't reached them yet. So you run the dilemma of having to go into the digital world or the analog world Have to fight
Going
them.
back into the dark ages of analog.
And I was told by my grandfather many, many years ago, always to be on the cutting edge, move forward. But don't forget your past, of course. That was always the caveat. So he never said you threw away your old stuff. So I'm working on this dilemma right now, trying to figure out how I'm gonna engage myself in the micro quad world, the toothpick world. I like to fly them, but I don't want to build them because they're way too damn small.
Well,
This one's cool.
maybe you need to get yourself one of these bad boys.
More money. More money, more money.
Hold on. I need to fire these up for full effect.
And those are
These are the Sky Zone 030s.
so Sky Zone 030. And
See, it has a LED strip on the front that lights up.
you look like what they need to do is put a red one on there and a little bulb that goes back and forth, so you look like a Cylon. Wow, 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 wow. I'm trying to make a sound effect. Did anybody remember where the Cylons are from? Actually, the series, the new series of Battlestar Galactica is so good. If you have not watched the newer Battlestar Galactica series, that is one amazing series. So if you have not done it, you got to go do it. Go spend a couple of weeks this summer and watch Battlestar Galactica, the new series that came out. I don't know, it was like 20. I don't know. That's pretty long time ago, but it was still good. Very good. Yep, the year of the pig, flying pig. I think it was. It's the year of it was like is the bull. No, it was I think it was it the pig? I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know.
It's got to be the pig because now we have the flying pig, even though we're already at the P16. But Sunrise has a question for me here. Why did I opt for discrete analog goggles rather than an add-on for your DJI goggles?
Good question.
It is a good question. And I actually considered putting on the little module on the side and throw a TBS Fusion in it. Except the TBS Fusions are like not available right now. Nobody has them, not even TBS has them in stock. And the other thing that is this little port right there called HDMI in. So I'm actually replacing the video card in my computer to why
you also can't pass up a good deal too when you see it on the marketplace.
Yeah. I found a heck of a deal on it, and all things being the same, SharkBite is out there too, and I want to explore SharkBite. And you can't put SharkBite on DJI goggles because I don't have the HDMI in. And I'm not going to get an HDMI to analog adapter to put it in the analog port on a DJI goggles. That would be kind of defeating the purpose.
I think to me, if I have to go that way, and I'm waiting for DJI to save me from this problem, but I would rather have dedicated goggles. I would just rather have them there. I don't want to hang stuff from other things. I just for simplicity, and I think it's just a lot easier. than having to manage, plug-in modules and things like that. So,
All right, Jim, have a good afternoon.
So I'm out. Need to be finishing teaching my grandson to do his asynchronous kindergarten work. Oh my Lord. You are the man. Thank you for what you do. And your asynchronous.
Yeah, most admit to high-end goggles have HDMI. I think pretty much anything that's about this style right here, the Fat Shark type style, I think they all pretty much have HDMI on them.
I'm just really reluctant to have to do that and my problem is I really want to fly the Hex.
Excuse me.
I also want to fly the Nano, and and I also want to fly at the mini toothpicks, and I've got no other choice right now.
Let's go back to the Hex Nano. There's two different flavors of it. You have the Nano iNav and you got the regular Nano. And the problem is, with the Hex Nano iNav, you get a barometer and GPS.
Right.
But you lose the space for the camera. Where when you go with the regular flavor, where's the other one at? There it is.
Yeah, I'm looking them up. I'm trying to get some pictures ready to drop. The frame is really cool. I mean, it's a nice solid frame.
Yeah,
one piece.
It's 1.6-inch props on it. Yeah, I would almost opt not to do the iNav on this because iNav is more long range thing, and this one in long range.
Yeah, I guess to me we were discussing this, and I guess if you wanted the data, the data collection that the GPS gives you more OSD information. I mean, that's nice. I mean, for locating it, I mean, that kind of stuff. I mean, you get that advantage, but I just don't think you're going to fly it that far away. I think you're going to be in a really small area. If you have a buzzer or beeper on it, that's probably enough.
It might be good for practice, setting up missions and iNav and all that.
Yeah.
But now I would assume if I want to go that route, I'd go with the full-size Hex or the Explorer.
You said the front arms look like they're a little bit flimsy. Yeah, I'm looking.
I think it's the way the props cover up part of the arm and makes them look smaller. But I think they're all the same size.
Yeah, let me put up a. I'm sure he's already looked at it.
Here's a picture from the bottom.
Oh, there you go. I was just going to put up the frame only, but that's perfect. Yeah, it's just so neat. I just think it's such a cool, a cool little freaking toy. I mean, that's all it is. It's just made to be fun. It's just made to be different. And that's what we're in the hobby for. And it can carry an SMO camera. I mean, they've got an SMO mount, and you can get really cool video with a tiny, tiny frame.
And it actually stays below the 250 grams. So fly this was a 650 battery. I didn't catch yet what the consent on flight time is on this thing.
450 or
on the 650.
On the 650. Yeah, this one basically is 300 and 450. Where do they got the 650 on? The one I'm looking at, the other one. I'm looking at the non-GPS. I'm looking at that one. Let's see.
6 minutes on the 450. I'm pretty sure you can strap a 650 onto this thing.
It only, let's see, what weight wise, we're looking at with 57.9 grams without the battery. That's pretty damn tiny. 57 point, it's not even 60 grams.
Here's the SMO camera version.
Then you strap the camera on, you got, another 60 grams there. You double its weight with that camera.
But it seems to be handling it fine because of the extra 2 motors.
Right.
Normally, you on a 1.6 inch prop quad, I wouldn't even attempt to put that SMO camera on it. So
it's just sharp. It's a sharp little build. I think anybody that looked at it went, "Oh, that's cool." When you saw the promos they did for it.
and looks like he made it. Good evening.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
So this is the and right now, if you buy it before tomorrow, you get a set of prop guards for free. That's apparently the promotion. Then the other one that's starting to ship here in the next few days is the Recon Nano Long Range.
Hey, Drone Psych, how you doing?
Or Reckon as Dave. If you want to buy some, was a digital naked CADX. There's the Beta FPV 75X. I think you can get the 75X and the 85, both in what was naked.
Hey, Machine Gun Droners in the house. How you doing? When you get a chance, he's got a question for you.
Yep, I see it. Nope, they're no longer giving the price break, so they must start shipping now. Yep, they start shipping today. The Recon. Here we go.
Recon 3. Reckon. The Reckon. And that's how he said
May the 4th. So they said update on April 28th. New orders placed for Recon 3. This is Recon 3. Yeah, Recon 3. Expect to ship late May, early June. So, yep, there want that idea. Never know.
Yeah.
All right, Machine Gun Droner. I see you in here. Hold on, let me move this out. He wants to know what part of Texas we're meeting at. We'll meet up in Canyon Lake, which is kind of a halfway point between San Antonio and Austin. And we have folks coming from both directions, San Antonio and Austin. It's going to be 5 o'clock in the afternoon now because the soccer fields that we're flying at are being used again by the soccer players. So, unfortunately, we can't buzz over them. I don't want to buzz over them anyway. So, yeah, the next one is on the 15th of May at 5 p.m. So, if you want to come join us, glad to have you. And we have Doc's in the house.
I threw up a picture of
Better put away the leftovers. The dog's in the house.
I put up a close up of the Reckon 3.
There we go.
Just a nice little simple TPU.
Yeah, you can actually
printed.
Download the TPU or not TPU, PLA.
PLA is, yeah, okay.
You can download on Thingiverse. You can get all the bits and pieces for this thing, except for the battery holder. But all the body parts you can get download on Thingiverse and print them up yourself in PLA or PETG or.
Yeah, that thing's tiny. If I think of how big a 18650 cell is, and it's just that's so little. Yes. If I put up, something to scale, I mean, it's my cell phone. It's just tiny, and that.
Well, here's the.
Yeah, put your phone next to it, and then you got to add about, an inch or two, and then that's just little. I envy people that are able to work on things that small. It's just. I would say a joke with that, but I figured that I would save that for Friday.
Well,
that's
speaking of TPU parts.
That's what she said.
Speaking of TPU parts, we're not going to quote her today.
Everything's getting so expensive. Holy crap.
What are you looking at now? Fuel prices?
It's the Reckon 5 HD. I've been looking at that now for about 2 months. Just so I get a 5-inch frame. But after flying Mr. Croc this week, I flew a bunch this week at Mr. Croc a bunch this weekend. The 6-inch, and Kai's going to set me up, and that's the other thing that we're going to be showing you today. He's got a nice little add-on for my Mr. Croc that he just got done printing, which will make my
Mr. Croc's the standard mount for Mr. Croc for a GoPro camera is this little base right here.
Right.
And then you got to print out their GoPro holder to go with it.
But you don't get hardly any tilt angle settings. You're pretty much stuck with two really.
Yeah, there's two positions here that you're stuck with as far as your degree of tilt, and that was just not acceptable. So
I just think there's not enough. I mean, there's plenty of things out there to, you can just use your standard GoPro mount, assuming you can get the base, and that's where he's helping me out to get that base, and then that's just going to make Mr. Croc so much easier to mount cameras on. I mean, I've actually got 3 cameras that I can mount on it, and that will allow me to also put my 360 camera on it. And
so this is what I found on Thingiverse, and I've done a little work on it and redesigned everything. And here is a regular base for GoPro camera.
That is the masterpiece right there.
And when we kind of put those together like that, you can see how stuff sort of.
There, make it big. We want to see it, Kai.
All right.
We want to see it.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. That is going to be just fantastic.
So we got that, and then we have this little guy right here that the SMO camera fits into. This I actually found on Thingiverse as it is. I just printed out about 4 of these. And then we get this contraption.
Yep.
And that will allow you to, come on, focus, camera, focus. That will allow you to put any of your cameras on the front of your
Mr. Croc.
Mr. Croc. So
I'm about as excited as I'll get out. Yeah, the SMO mount. And you're like, well, why would you mount an SMO on Mr. Croc? And my answer for that is weight savings. And I can put a much bigger battery on them. There's all kinds of benefits. Plus, the SMO is a good camera. You know.
Speaking of, so while I was at it, I decided
the mini,
a different mount for the 3-inch diatone. And the diatone comes with this little piece right here.
Yeah.
You see this little hook that slides into a hole in the frame itself, and then it has four screw holes, but you only need 2 of them, and that's where it clamps down on the front. But it takes up a lot of room on the frame. So I decided to condense this a little bit. And you see this little bar at the bottom that slides into the slot. You turn it, and then you slide it up, and there's 2 holes in the front. But in the back, there was still a little bit of a lip. Well, I wanted to save that space too.
I like that little twisty, that connector. That's just so handy.
So now here is the final product. SMO camera already installed.
And then you can adjust you got unlimited angle adjustment.
Unlimited angle adjustment. It sucks down on the frame. You see the bar going sideways right at the bottom here. Let me see if I can point it out. See it right there? Whoop.
Right. That's the one you made me. Well, close to it. You made me the one where it turns like that, but it's standard mount, but it's still good.
That was this one right here.
Yeah, that's the one I've been using.
There's no angle adjustment on that one.
Exactly.
So now we have this one, and you can go all out with this.
I mean, it's just nice to be able to do that, to make that choice.
And now you see all that room on the back here where that slot is. That would be space taken up by the rest of this thing. So now you have all this extra room for your battery to get it more closer to your center of gravity.
Yep. That's the diatone frame, the 3-inch diatone frame, Ben.
And yeah, the 3-inch diatone frame. Actually, the 3-inch and the 4-inch diatone are the same frame. They just use a different arm, different length arm.
Right.
But the main body of the L3, diatone L3, Roma L3 and the diatone Roma F4 are the same main body. They're just different length arms. And this is actually an analog unit. And as of today, I've got a different camera in order that has a built-in 4K recorder. So I'll be flying analog, but still recording full 4K.
Is that single?
Saved me the whole 50 grams of camera and mount and everything, and just bigger battery.
Does that have a single camera, or is it?
Yeah, that's a single camera.
Okay, so
I
it
got
uses
the Cadex Loris.
Loris. Nice.
So
That will be a that will
I
be a
don't
nice.
know if any of y'all know this, but I am a cat designer. I do have the 3D software. So if any of y'all have any kind of plastic parts that need designing, get a hold of me. I'll see what I can do to help you out.
Doc Murdoch was asking about the run cam split.
Nope, this is I do have the run cam split on order too, but the run cam split records at 1080. The Cadex Loris records at 4K, 4K 60 at that.
Looking at the Tiny Hawk 2 right now because I got to fix mine. Still, I just need a motor. Thing's so freaking small. Every time I see it, I'm like, I put it back in its little box because I don't want to freaking mess with it. Everything hurts my head to think about having to work on it. And then for $120, I could just buy a new one. That's how lazy I am. I'm just like, crap, I could just get a new one. It'd be nice to get the one I've got working. Never been flown. But I got to order a more. What I should do is order 2 motors for it.
Why can't I find Dolores on the FedEx side?
And you get
There
into this.
we go.
You get into the dilemma when you got to fix stuff like that. That you're like, well, crap. I'd rather fly the freestyle. The Baby Hawk 2 freestyle because it would be a little bit for me. It would be a little bit more fun. I'm not, and I'm like not wanting to spend the money. So to me, I just leave stuff laying around, because I get in those mental dilemmas. Lee
So here's the
Binsing in the
Loris, and it's a full 4K 60 frames per second.
Lee, that you are so right. People just get, people make their disposable now. I wouldn't throw mine away. I still would like. I mean, it'd be better if I'd fix it. Then I could sell it for $75. Put $10 into a motor, get it working, and just sell it. I mean, let's see, Loris Micro. That's the 800 TVL, 1080, 2.7K, 4K 30, huh? 4K 60. Whoa. And that has a little DVR in it?
That has it records local.
Oh, wow. Yep. There it is.
Right there, you see no, that's not it. It's on the backside. You can't see it in that picture. But on the backside, there's a.
So for $70, that's why I'm waiting for DJI.
Now you fly analog. Okay, so you have to put up with the analog picture, but you still got a full 4K 60 recording out of this thing. So, and it's extremely lightweight. So, there you can see it right there. There's the SD card holder.
See, that's why I'm waiting around because I just know that DJI is going to freaking pull the trigger on a 4K camera inside of their next FPV
Yeah, no, DJI's next air unit just about going to have a 4K 60 on it just to stay competitive.
And it's going to be light. I mean, they're gonna
I don't think 2.7K is gonna do it. They're gonna have to step it up. They're gonna have to step up to 4K recording.
unless they do something like 2.7K and then they stabilize it, and then you're like, oh my god, I got to buy that. Even though 4K is available, I can get stabilized 2.7K video, and then that allows them to have one more step for you. and then in 2 years they're going to do the same thing to you, going, hey, we're going to up our ante and we're going to do a 4K version with EIS. And then the third, this is like Apple Computer, man. And then the third example, they're going to throw in the 4K 60 edge.
Would you just shut up and quit giving DJI dumb ideas?
Oh my God, they're just going to torture us, man. That's what they do. They torture us with freaking small little freaking things that are a little bit better.
So if anybody's hunting for CADX Vista Nebula Pro kits, they are back available. I got about half a dozen emails today from different outlets. Pyrodrone has again, Get FPV has some. CADX actually lists them in stock on their site. So they are back available.
All right.
So all those guys that were trying to scalp other people, marking their units up 50% because nobody had any in stock, your number's up.
All right, Kai. I'm gonna test your knowledge. Here we go.
Oh boy.
All right. Oh crap. I hate Banggood. I don't even want to put them up on the screen. I'm not doing that just because they're coming up.
Oh, while you do that, I'm going to say hi to Lee and Dustin and Frank. If I didn't catch you guys yet, thank you all for stopping by.
All right.
Now, if y'all don't mind, please hit that like button on the bottom.
Okay, here we go.
We got Mike B, aka the Drone Ranger.
All right, I'm going to put this up on the screen here because you're going to tell me why I'm not going to buy these or why I should. Where in the hell is my freaking tab? There it is right there. Yeah, there it is right there. All right. Fat Shark Dominators right there. $500, brand new. Why am I not going to buy those?
Because on top of $500, you need to spend about $120 to $150 on a module.
Uh-huh.
And then you got to buy antennas for that.
Uh-huh.
So if you go back into the shop categories, you will actually find a bundle pack that they have available.
Right there. There it is with the rapid fire and.
Well, you still need. This is the old HDOs. You want the HD2s.
Well, frick, this is getting expensive, Kai. This is $600.
Yeah, that's why I went the route of buying a second-hand pair.
Oh, man.
Less than half of that.
This is what's killing me right now.
I sent you a deal on the bundle today.
I know, but what I'm saying is if I want to fly the Firefly, yeah, let's see. Right now, that's why newbies are going to go straight to digital. Yeah, it's been, and that's just, it's hard for me to, to make this. Obviously, I would get something used. I would try to find something ready to go, but I'd have to choose a a specific, transmitter. So I'd have to go a certain direction there. And then, of course, a
Yeah.
radio.
Well, Doc Murdoch brought up a good point. The Sky Zone 02. Actually, there's a new version out, the 020.
The 020. Is that the one you were showing me? The one with the adjustments remember you said that they completely adjusted, like.
No, I think we were looking at the Fat Shark Attitude V6s. There's a Sky Zone 04 has adjustable focus. The 02 does not. The 03 does not. But I'm wearing readers,
right,
plus 1.5 readers, and I have no problems reading the on-screen menus on these, and they have no focus adjustment. There's nothing blurry. I can see everything good.
There's Sky Zone 020. Here it is right here. Oh, and like you're saying, these are.
But they already have a module built into them.
Oh, so they do?
You don't have to buy another module. The Fat Shark Attitude V6, they have a module already built into it.
They come in like 4 different colors too.
Yep.
So $500. Then you have to buy antennas, which is another $30 an antenna. So $60 or $70 for 2 antennas. Well, it depends on what antennas you buy. If I buy the Lumineer Axie 2 5.8 or the anything that.
Well, you play your cards right. You might want to talk to Doc Murdoch and see what he can do to help you out on the antenna part. He's hooking me up with a set of antennas. There you go. He's already volunteering. He'll make you a set of antennas.
020 OLED. RX built-in head tracker, DVR, HDMI, AV in and out for racing drones. Sky Zone. Who got me in this freaking hobby anyway? This is just too damn expensive. How can I have a real life and freaking fly freaking quads at the same time and be able to keep up with all this expensive stuff? Oh, man, it was so much easier when all I was doing was flying the Mini. Oh, man. Put up a Mini video, wait another year, wait for the new Mini to come out, put up another Mini video, wait another year. The Mini 3 is going to be out,
I really haven't been able to do much flying with my new analog setup yet because on Saturday it had rained cats, dogs, and kitchen sinks. I mean, about anything came off out of the sky. On Sunday it was dry, but the field where I go flying was on the water. So
I got lots of brushed quads to fly. So there you go. I got so much work to do. The Flying Pig and the S161. I'm surprised your boss didn't bring this out and go, here, we're going to take a picture of those pipes. I bought this on Amazon for about $60. And I'm going to adjust the camera right now, and then we're going to fly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This thing actually flies pretty good.
Well, I took out the Evo for a spin out on a job site. And one of my one of my coworkers come up after that, and he's like, if I would have tried to fly my drone in that wind, it would have been in one of the trees. Like, yeah, well, there's a difference between a Holy Stone and an Evo.
First of all, what you have there is not a drone. That's called a toy. And it's designed to fly in parks, and that's it.
Now, Ben, you can put any antenna, SMA connected antenna on these goggles. And there's plenty out there.
Now, are those diversity goggles?
I
guess they don't need to be.
It's kind of a weird flavor, diversity. Yes. I don't think they call it diversity on the Sky Zone. NT has the same ones.
Because you're only working really with, well, I'm trying to think here. I guess you are working with both signals. But your goggles only need now it depends on your video, your VTX, right? Whether you're using both signals. I need less
diversity takes and constantly compares which antenna it gets a better signal from, and that's the antenna.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so it's basically using the same signal.
It is a diversity receiver.
Okay. It's just
it's not
just
as
getting
good
the best signal for
rapid fire or fusion, but it's pretty usable.
Yeah.
These, and that's the one thing about these, they don't have the door on the side where you can pop a different module in it, but you can buy a little injection molded plastic piece that has everything, and then you just hook it into the analog in.
Just like
you can use a rapid fire or fusion module.
Isn't that just like the ones that you were showing me for the add-ons to the V1 goggles?
Yeah, it's sort of along those ways, sort of along those lines. There's a specific plastic molded piece that fits right onto the side.
That's made for those specific goggles.
It's specifically made for this goggle.
I got
it Velcros on.
Wow.
And now you can put any module in there. And I also want to play with some 1.2 gigahertz modules. So.
Yeah, it's still, the digis are still popping up for me. You're showing me all those things, and I looked at the digi adapters, and I was thinking about going that direction. Then I'd have to add a module to it, and then buy a radio. That's still not outside of the. I would use the one that you were telling me more about, though. The one that connects to the two screws, right? Does it drive into those screws where the band connects to?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. I was looking at what screw holes they use, and I'm like, okay, they just reused the elastic band adapter holes, just longer screws.
Yep.
Gotcha.
It's a fairly simple install. It actually goes in a separate little piece, and then the module slides onto that. It's a little like T-shaped bar, and then you can slide the module holder over the top of it.
Yeah, Doc was saying the diversity uses two receivers and a tuned hysteresis circuit to switch between the stronger signal and at what rate, right? Yeah, when I'm in this realm, I am a fish out of water for sure. And what I do is I listen a lot, trying to I might have to dive into the dive a little deeper, I guess, into what I've already kind of dove into already. So it's kind of like I'm in blue water, and I probably need to get into more brackish water here. that's the that's the small little freaking toothpicks. They are so small, but they're probably so fun to fly. That to me, I just want to fly it. I'm a flyer. I just want to fly stuff. Um, just give it to me and I'll fly it. It's
Well, speaking of little stuff, there's something else that popped up on the
oh
review.
yeah.
This little guy.
Every time I see these things, I'm like, oh, that is so cute. I just love to rip that around. You could
This
so
thing
just rip
is a
that
super small, super lightweight little one ass toothpick.
15.9 grams. And then you put a
I
what a
mean,
two
19.5,
or not what did I say? 15?
15.9.
Oh my god. Guys, I gotta double up my glasses. I gotta get the other pair on. Watch out. Wait a second so I can read here on the screen. I don't know how the hell I fly. Here we go. There we go. Now I can see it. Way better now. God damn.
But
It
this
actually does
little,
work, by the way.
so
I
this little thing
can
comes.
see the pixels on the screen.
This is how this thing comes, completely in pieces, and you have
Oh
to
my,
put it. You have to put it together yourself.
oh my
It
God.
sounds really intimidating, but they actually broke it down, and there's no soldering required.
Oh, I could
Everything
do it. It's just so
everything plugs
small.
in.
Everything's tiny. It's like this big, everything. I'd be dropping stuff on
Everything
the
plugs
carpet.
in. So here's like the flight controller. So you got the four connections for the motors.
Cool.
That's
Yep.
there's a connection for the goggles or for the camera.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the USB connectors so we can configure it in beta flight.
Flight, yeah. Yeah, I
It's a
could
little
do it.
F4 controller.
Those are probably the motors I need for my Tiny Hawk 2. They
Those are
probably,
actually brushless motors.
yeah. Well, they're not the only problem with the Tiny Hawk 2 is it's got pusher props on it. So the motors have to go the opposite way. It might be the same size.
Oh, it don't matter. You can adjust the motor and the direction the motor spins and not in beta flight, but in BL heli. But yeah, this little thing has me interested, especially at that price point.
50 Doc Murdoch's building a 50-gram toothpick.
Yeah, put a battery on it, and you're right at 50 grams for this thing.
Doc, if they ever put digital on that thing, I am gonna so freaking rip that thing around.
And the problem is you can't get the
Right.
port wide enough just yet.
Right.
But
It's
over time,
this
they're
is just
gonna
too big.
they're gonna figure out to get the weight down on this thing. I mean, this is no super high output VTX either. So output power is 25 milliwatt, 40 channel, smart audio ready.
You can just rip that around your yard though. Just
Rip that around your yard or rip it around in your house.
inside of your house, yeah.
Yep. 40 millimeter prop. So that's what, 1.6. There's your 1.6 inches again.
I like the plug and play aspect of that. Like obviously it saves them a ton of labor by not having to put it together. They don't have to pay somebody whatever Chinese labor is. I'm sure it's so low. but that drops that price down. Probably drops that price down about $2-3 a unit, and
But I'm going to tell
then
you
they
right
pocket
now,
the other five.
if you're going to put this thing together yourself, invest in some Loctite,
Yeah.
especially for the motors, because these
Well,
little bitty screws are a pain in the arse to get.
yeah. Especially if you drop them in your carpet. See, that's the thing. I mean, that's why I know I've seen the build tables that you guys have, where it's, you've got the neutral backgrounds, and you've got all the little compartments to put all the screws, and everything stays, in its place so it doesn't roll away. That's the key, is to have a good, well organized workbench. Or because it only takes up that much space. I mean, crap, then you need a freaking blast light so you can freaking light the room up.
Oh, hey, I got new gets here.
Oh, there it is. He forgot to show his shirt off last week.
Got a new T-shirt.
That's the child size, extra large.
Yeah.
If you pay him $10, he'll tell you what size it is. Oh, I went to Costco and bought a coat. It was like double X. Got it home and I put it on. I zipped it up and it was tight. I'm like, shit. I'm like,
Well, is it double X American or double X Asian?
I think it's double X, like Japanese or something. It's tiny. Like, I'm like form fitted.
Yeah,
my arms are like
those T-shirts are actually off Teespring, and these are they're right now they're doing the Hanes beefy tees,
Yeah.
so they're pretty good quality.
That looks like a good shirt, by the way. I can tell. I can see the material. I'm like a t-shirt aficionado. I can tell when they're really when they're they feel like they're crusty. That one looks like it's been that it's soft. That the material is soft.
This thing is nice and comfortable.
Yeah. And that's, to me, it has to be, you have to have soft, comfy. It's not like this cheap t-shirt I got here from Amazon, No, you get 12 in a bag for $6, and then make sure it freaking.
Yeah, well, if you don't need anything that says T on the end of your size, you can get all that cheap shit.
where it's like sandpaper. It's like
if you try like me, you need 2, 3, 4X tall.
The 240 grit sandpaper.
That's a billboard, not a T-shirt. Talk Murdoch.
Oh, we should put all our stickers on there. We should have one T-shirt. He can turn around and have everybody's stickers on the back when he turns around. I should do that. Make a shirt and it's on the back. Just put everybody's.
I got one of those from Ready Set Drone. Has all sorts of sponsors on the back.
Check this organizing out.
No, you gave up on your Rubbermaid?
There's love going on now when you put it in a special box. Oh.
I don't know if it's love or just some wisdom. I
only paid $32 for this. And it really came fast. It smells like chemicals. It's probably been spray painted with lead paint. But it looks good. Everything fits in there. I got 2 batteries in there and all my gear, man. Got extra straps and 3 sets of props. Freaking ready to rock with this thing now.
Doc Murdoch, our mad scientist, is going at it again. He's going to build on a K-butt frame.
Gotta get these props back in there.
Schedule, yeah. You have to step it up to at least 2S for the Cadex to work, for the Vista to work.
Cadex. There we go. Oh, man. Come on, props. Stay in there.
Would have been nice if they would have added the zipper in there so that don't go flying every time you flip that lid open.
Well, it's got the outside pouch there, too. I should put one of those sets of props in the outside pouch. But it's small enough. I just wanted it smaller than some people keep their props on and stuff, and it just makes everything bigger. I'm just sitting here waiting for the Mavic 3.
Organized yet?
I'm just waiting patiently for the Mavic 3. Just sitting here. I want to sing a song.
Oh, good Lord. Can't carry a tune on a bucket, but he's going to sing us a song.
Ben's got a GPC case, that hard case. Well, if I ever get rid of this thing, I don't want to give away a nice case, so heck with those guys. It can go in the soft pack. Be a little bit less to ship it.
Yeah, what's with our Bulgarian connection? Ivan, somebody call him, wake him up.
Ivan's sleeping. He's whatever happened to his he was going to get the Mavic 2 the Air 2S, and everything kind of went quiet. Hope everything's okay, man. He had all these big plans, and then
Doc has a good question for you.
Yeah, is there a spot in the zipper pouch for the dustpan and the whip broom to sweep it back into that case with its parts? Yes, every day I have to see another broken freaking wing. It's getting old, guys. And I'm even the FIMI, that FIMI thing, the FIMI. I've even seen two people. How do you break that? It's like I could throw this across the room and it's not going to break an arm off. And this is a $20 toy, and it's probably built the same way as the FIMI. It's probably got the same plastic, and you paid $400 for it. But I mean, I can toss this anywhere and just. So how do you break it? I'm baffled. I'm baffled at. I mean, you can break things, but it just seems like some people just fly into things.
Well, the thing that you need to remember when you start up when you do that whole hand launch thing, wait for the props to get to full speed before you chunk it.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. I don't hand launch much. If I do hand launch, I just hold it out. I mean, just freaking hold it and let the freaking quad lift off a little bit. I mean, it gets lighter. I have chunked it. I mean, I freaking threw the Hubsan. I threw the Hubsan freaking.
I just threw a link into the chat for that little URV UZ80 and into the chat for Destin.
Oh my gosh!
I haven't seen it with any of the U.S. retailers yet.
Ugh.
But I've been doing a little bit of poking around. I came across this little beauty, and this is kind of piquing my interest. So where is this micro?
I don't even look anymore. I go looking. This is like a really bad time to buy stuff. We're in the doldrums of summer already. We're just in the, let's see. Sean Oz, and I are going to do a real crash test with the DJI FPV drone and a 5-inch freestyle drone at speed into plexiglass, so we can record it at 10,000 FPS for a video. Why not? If everybody's pitching in for the $2,000 test you're doing there.
What's the guy that has the high speed camera? Chris Rollins. Chris Rollins is who you need to talk to. He's got that high speed camera. I think he's here in Texas.
Yeah, I guess I have enough curiosity to watch it, but it's what's going to happen. I guess I'd be interested to see how it breaks up, but that how is going to change every time you crash it a certain direction or way. So I think the key to everything is just
I think for most efficient breakup, you should fly it backwards.
Cost benefit. To me, I look at that, the cost benefit, and I don't even think if you smash your FPV drone, there is no cost benefit to it. You're not going to get enough subscribers. You're not going to get enough views to make that cost benefit work. It would be fun, I guess, if you have money to throw away. But that's the way I look at it. I look at it as I look at it like my grandpa taught me.
Make sure you have to carry fresh.
I look at it. I look at it with logic. I mean, so logic. I just don't see the logic. It's still fun.
Here's the little booger that kind of piquing my interest too.
The Savage Bee. Now that's got a cool frame.
You can get it as 1S or 2S.
Those are big old props on there too. Those are like 2-inch props, aren't they?
3-inch props.
3, holy crap. Those are really big. 2S 3-inch.
2S 3-inch prop, or you can buy it as a 1S. You can buy it both as a 1S or 2S. But this thing kind of has me intrigued.
I'm thinking back to the exploding FPV drone right now. I can see 5 GoPros, 2 high-speed cameras. It's going to look like a nuclear test because you're only going to get one chance to get the shot. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to throw that into the chat too. So
I have a student that gave me a question, and I'm replying to him that if you were in class today, you would know exactly what to do because I went over that.
And he emailed you that question?
Yeah.
Even though he was told not to email you?
Well, he can email me. He just can ask me questions. I don't care about that. I just don't want his work through the email. All right. Is anybody excited for the Chinese freaking rocket that's going to be re-entering the atmosphere anytime soon in a random location?
Nope, Woody's got to go. It's past the old fart bedtime, and
Woody, look, just don't when you're going to bed, just don't look up. Okay, just don't because that Chinese rocket might be coming to a town near you. What is
have a
that
good
thing
night,
like?
Paul.
20,000 pounds or something like that? They can build the most sophisticated, awesome drones in the world, but they're still trying to figure out how to launch and re-enter rockets into the atmosphere. Oh, that'll get me a long ways with DJI, huh? As I rip on their rocket technology. They're good at whirly things, but things that have
Well, it didn't blow up on launch. I mean, that's
no. I guess well, Elon Musk, he's already landing them. He just does he just hasn't come back to Earth. Obviously that's
Did
in
you
a
watch that launch?
which one?
There was just another launch that they actually had on. They were showing it on Discovery Channel.
Oh, was it a heavy launch? Were there big
No, it
heavy?
wasn't a heavy launch. It was send crew up to the space station.
Oh, because they had just had one come back.
Yeah, that where they went up. They showed that launch.
Ah, okay. So that's the okay. Is that the it's so that's the module that returned,
That was
right?
the Dragon that they shot at.
Dragon module. Okay. I usually watch them, but I get them confused because they put them up and then they leave the live on it, and it's not live, so you don't know if it's last year's launch or this year's launch. It gets confusing. Yeah, you won't feel it anyway if it lands on you. 20,000 pound freaking rocket coming back to Earth at I don't know, a couple
Yeah,
thousand
old
miles.
Elon Musk is learning a painful lesson in Germany right now. They are building a Tesla plant outside of Berlin in a area that is
A wetland.
a wet. Yeah, it's kind of a wetland, and it's protected lands all
Oh, boy.
around. And they already got on him once about building without permits, and apparently he's back at it again.
Well, when you have billions of dollars,
It's going to be an expensive lesson.
because the Germans will freaking stick it to them.
For him to start building on that site, he had to put up 100 million euros collateral just in case this whole thing fell through, to where everything could be restored to the way it was before. Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, Amazon tried their ways in Germany and didn't get very far. First year they tried it, they went on strike in time for the Christmas rush, and it cost Amazon dearly. Right, you got a hot date?
No, I'm just looking at. That's a kid responding to me. Uh, I'll see him tomorrow. And it is 5:55, so it is. I don't have a hot date, but I'm about live streamed out on a Tuesday. But I will be ready on. Oh, am I going to be ready on Friday? This is a busy weekend, but
Yeah,
I should be
Dustin, there
ready.
won't be no bandwidth. That's why I had put up the 100 million euros up front to where there won't be no bando. He can't just walk away from it. They will spend his money to.
To yeah. Well, he this is I think Germany's kind of got this anyway. they're going to probably, this is kind of like the landlord that, asks for 2 months rent and the security deposit, but they have no intention of giving it to you anyway. They're going to find as many ways as possible to get your security deposit. That's what it seems like Germany's like.
No.
They're going to want to replace
They want
5 feet.
to build it. They're all about wanting to build it, but they're not going to build it at any price. There's not enough water available to run that plant. So now there's there's another lake over here that we could get the water from, but they haven't done all their due diligence on what kind of water is actually available.
What they need to do is move that plant to Poland and just say screw Germany.
That's what he should have done to begin with, but
just put it there because they're not going to pull his bullshit. They're just going to let him build it. Yes, Sunrise. Do your students know about? Yeah, they know about you. You too. It's been going for so long they don't even care anymore.
The novelty has wore off.
Yeah, kids are fickle, man. They don't waste their time with you. They really don't. Once they know something, yeah, it's just like, all right, I'm not even interested in. You're going to be talking about stuff I really don't care about. So, yeah, I thought it would be a big deal a while ago, and it's not. I think I bored them to death at work, so they're like, dude, I can't listen to you for another 30 minutes. I try to entertain them, but some days it's harder than others. I smile a lot, give them lots of stuff to
smile and nod. You're doing great.
Like what I'm going to do. I'll be smiling and nodding tomorrow when I see this kid, as I give him all the answers that he's asking for today. At least he cares about his work. I'm good with that. I'm good with it. He's a good dude.
If he puts in some effort.
Yeah, this kid's good. He's a guy. When I saw the email, I don't mind now answering. There's some kids you get emails from, you're just like, oh my gosh, it's the same kid. I've got one I know I've got emails coming for. The kid misses every other day, and he's always on his phone. And it'll be an absolute emergency. He's got a mom that's like, you know what? You make your bed, you lie in it, which is really nice to have a mom like that. She'll take his phone or something, and he'll be whining about it. And
you can't do it to me. She'll take my phone.
Yeah. Phones are nipples. They're they're pacifiers.
Electronic pacifier.
Freaking nipples. All right.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's kind of interesting if you go back to school as an adult. I had to go back to school for my cat training because I had a work accident. So they sent me for some re-education.
The re-education camp.
25 years out of high school, going back to college.
Being with a bunch of youngsters.
Let me tell you, if this is what's going to turn around for us, we're in trouble.
I gave him 2 views of the Vietnam War today. Hopefully one kid heard it. So 2 views, one from the Ho Chi Minh side and the other one from the basically the American effort, going into it, so what our goal was. And to be quite honest, I'm like, our big goal was just to keep the commies at bay, and we weren't going to give up basically North Vietnam to China, which we thought, was basically influencing them, let alone, the Vietnamese actually not wanting us around and wanting to run their own country. they're just going to pick. They're going to pick the better the better of two evils. The Vietnamese don't want the Chinese telling them what to do either. They just want to be left alone. After being dominated by the French, being dominated by the Japanese, and then being dominated by the French once again, and then the United States replaces the French. It's just like, will somebody please leave? And then you got communist China nipping at your heels. So,
if the French Foreign Legion couldn't take care of it, nobody can.
My uncle and dad both fought during the Vietnam conflict. Yep. And think about Dustin, you think about the length of the Vietnam War is 10 years. We've been in Afghanistan for 20. It's insane. But obviously the cost in Vietnam, you have 500,000 Americans, at the height, about 67, 68, versus the Afghanistan, you only have 200 and, about 200. I think at the most we had about 200,000 men and women. And so China is
we've been in Afghanistan for much longer than 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Ben, China is selling the nipples to us. I know they are. They're also selling us nipples. They're selling us the milk for the nipples. TikTok. Oh, my God. We are so freaking fun. All right. That's enough of that. We're off topic.
Well, I'm gonna throw this one in though. So somehow or another in one of the classes, animals got mentioned, and I'm not joking you. This gal was sitting there and just stone face cold. She's like, "You mean to tell me that ponies are real? I thought they're like unicorns. They're make believe."
Oh, my Lord.
I think I about fell out of my chair when I heard that.
Dustin said he did 2 tours in Iraq. So he was in the other campaign. And then I have my classmates were in Iraqi freedom, and
First of all, Dustin, thank you for your service.
Yes. Iraqi freedom and Operation Desert Storm. You got all those.
Yeah, that's my area. Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
Yeah. Bunch of classmates, and we were pre-war kids. Yeah, I was probably 22 by the time the first Gulf War started. Yeah, and like I didn't know I had as many friends that were involved in that, but most of them had been in the service for quite a while already. Because if I were to have joined at a high school age, I would have been in Germany or something. I would have been probably stationed in Germany or something during that time, because it was the 80s. It was mostly the
we could have met in Berlin.
Middle 80s, 86, 87, 88. By the time I would have been discharged at 4 years, I don't know if I would have stayed, went in. I thought about it, just the Army. I would have been out by 89, 90, and that didn't kick up until 91. So I had some friends that went back in the National Guard to get back into it. So, or ones that became officers, and they were in command positions, but kind of one of those.
Ben T was in Air Force. Thank you.
USAF. Right at the end.
Now, my ex-father-in-law was Air Force, and at the end of Intel.
Yeah, I was one of those kids. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was doing. I had tons of options. I really didn't know what to do. I was an athlete though, so I kind of wanted to. I had choices. At least I had a choice. I wasn't like the kids that grew up in the middle '60s, the late '70s, who didn't have a choice because of there'd always been a draft. There'd always been a certain number of kids that were conscripted. to keep the numbers for the military. And that jumped from what, 200,000 to freaking 500,000 in just 3 or 4 years. Yeah, my dad, same thing. He basically graduated in '66 and had me and my sister. And there was a lot of deferments early on. And then my grandfather, he was a farm kid, so he got a farm deferment. And by 70, he was too old. So that's when he was like 24 back then at that time. And those kids were, but that's when they started to say no deferments, He was stationed in Begstrom and 188th, 1882, 1882nd, is that a combat comm squadron?
Comm Scott. Yeah, this is me during Desert Storm, Desert Shield. That handsome fella in the middle.
That's my favorite picture. We called him the Berlin Wall back in those days. I'm sure he's never heard that one before.
That picture actually surfaced on Facebook a while back, and it's referring to a book that this picture was found in. And I actually bought the book to see if it actually was me. Now, you really want to get something scary? Same gate a few years earlier. You ready for this?
Oh, it's the same place. Yeah.
Same place. A few years earlier.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. I like those overlay photos like that where you can stand in time. My favorite ones, I'm a history teacher. Obviously, I love history. I love any veterans that have been. I talked to tons of veterans. Anytime I get a chance, if I know you're a veteran of whatever service, I always spend the time to talk and find out, hey, where were you at? And, what's your experience? So it helps me talk to kids. And I think of those overlay photos.
There's one more picture of the same gate.
And that after World War I?
Even before that.
Is that after it says Third Reich in ruins, but.
Well, that the whole place was actually a Prussian officer school.
Yeah.
When it was originally built in the 1800s.
Yeah, so it was basically built as training officers, and I think of All Quiet on the Western Front when they're training. When they're training to go, and there's this sergeant with the little turned up mustache that's just harassing him. That's harassing you, just staring at you. It says I was in reserve for 3 years. Discharged from active duty in our reserve unit. Traveled to Europe for 2 summer tours. Communications. I worked with a guy, an English teacher, who is in communications, and he was involved in radio communications, but he was stationed in Africa, of all places, during the. So he lucked out; he didn't get sent to Southeast Asia, but they did a lot of observation stuff. That's what he said. They spied on people. They went around. They just walked around, and they snuck around, and they were radio guys.
In other words, he was a spook.
Yeah, they just ran. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's what he did. If you ever met him, you'd understand. He'd have made a really good. He'd do a really good job at that. But he's interesting guy. I think I have a lot of long conversations. So very interesting stuff. I've got 2 friends that were in the Air Force, and both of them fly for Delta, but they both flew missions into Turkey, into Germany, and into Kosovo when that was going on. And they dropped, there were C-141 pilots, both of them, when they were still flying those. And my one friend who's in California, he finally trained on C-17s, and then he just flew simulator. He never actually got a chance to fly one, and he got um, they gave him a promotion. Then he couldn't fly anymore. That sucked, he said. But he just wanted to retire with some more money. Yeah, I was nearly assigned to one of those monitoring sites. Yeah, Ben, that's kind of you would know the kind of, and you kind of remind me of him. He was just very technical, but he ended up being an English teacher. So of course his memory in Globe Masters, yeah, these pilots they're all like I said, they all fly 767s now, and I think one of them was a Czech pilot for Delta. The other one just retired from the Air Force and from Delta, so he's done. They kicked him out. Fun dude. Now he's a captain again. He says he went from flying captain, now he's a ship captain. He's getting his ship captain's license. So he told me about that. He grew this big beard because when you're in the Air Force and when you're, a pilot, you can't grow a beard, so you can wear oxygen mask. So that was his big thing, to grow this big gray beard. So he's Captain Ahab.
No, I had a friend in Berlin that he was also working as a bartender at night in one of the NCO clubs. Whenever you see him, you never think he's ever spent a day in the army in his life. Long hair, not shaven, drove a car with civilian license plate. I always thought he was a dependent. And he pulls into the gate one evening and flashes an active duty ID card.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. You forget about that.
I'm like, wait a minute. Something isn't adding up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to wear what you want, man. Then as a young kid, I partied a lot with military dudes. We did a lot of driving around, and we did a lot of just crazy stuff, and ended up on military bases because we go out and meet people at a bar, and they're like, "Hey, we're stationed at this base wherever," and we like, "All right, let's go," because that's back when you could just drive right past, the freaking front gate, and nobody said anything, Like, "Hey, what are you doing there?" "Yeah, well, this is," and they would flash their pass. "These are some friends of ours," and you could just get in pretty much anywhere. Now you can't get anywhere.
Yeah. Well, 9/11 took care of that.
Yeah, I just remember how easy it was, getting on airplane.
Back in the day, it was open post. You just drove on.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I had a lot of fun. God, we partied it up. I partied out with Navy SEALs one night. I can barely remember that because I was so freaking just out of my mind, hammered. And I just remember him talking about stuff. We probably met him in California in a bar somewhere. Usually it's that way, and then you end up, at another one, and then next thing you know, you're just like, doing this in some house somewhere. But I've heard some really interesting stories. You don't know whether it's real or not from those guys. I really don't care at that point. But yeah, it's fun. I like I said, I enjoy. I always take time if I got a chance to talk with people that have been around, because all those little stories together make one big cool story. And that's what I do. I tell stories. It's I kind of do that on the internet, but at school I do it every day. And I try to piece together the facts. All righty, guys.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to patch me into your class when you do some on the Berlin Wall. Then.
Yeah, I did a little bit. It's when you get into that stuff, you have to filter a lot of different events because there's so many. But I always do. I have a little piece. I didn't have that picture, by the way. I actually talked about you, but I didn't have the Berlin Wall picture. I know you sent it to me, and when it came up, I'm like, oh, I got this picture, and I only have so many minutes to figure it out and find it. I probably could find it, but that would be a fun one to show. I'm like, say, do you guys know the Berlin Wall, right? Here's the real Berlin Wall. Here he is right here. There's Kai, and you have him standing there. flexing his freaking neck, all 7 feet of him, freaking ready to crush the
That
freaking.
wall was no joke.
Yeah. My favorite, I always show a scene.
But the only reason the wall worked was not the structure of it. It was the fact that soldiers stationed on it was ordered to shoot to kill.
Yeah.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
After a while, you kind of sealed your fate too. People just, I can imagine by the late 80s, everybody was just like, depression, and especially as the West got more and more wealthy, it got worse and worse. The more information you were able to get.
Well,
but yeah,
Putin and his brothers made sure the information didn't get too far. Putin was an intelligence officer in Germany. He speaks fluent German.
Yeah, he's a tough cookie, man. This Russia is going to be Russia will be Stalinist until he finally kicks the bucket. There's no way he is holding on to power just like Stalin did. He's going to die in power. He is not going anywhere.
Dustin is posting some YouTube video thing here, so wow.
Hey, Dustin says you can buy pieces of the Berlin Wall online. Little tiny pieces.
I'll just go out back, mix up a bunch of freaking concrete, and actually I'm going to go to Home Depot, buy those, get those free bags that got wet or concrete, and just take little chunks and tell them, yeah, it's from Berlin.
Put some paint on it, make it look like here. This was one of the more, and then you send a little.
Just came out of a mural, yeah.
Oh, all right, guys. It's like I said, it's 6, man. I've got places.
Come on, we got a late start.
Guy. I created a monster. He just
created a monster. All right. Well, Dustin, I will check out that link that you sent.
I got to get
my biggest story with Berlin Wall was that Ford lost in the woods. Pardon?
I said I got to get a zoom, and I got to get so I can look bigger. What Putin did to Navalny is scary. Yeah, he's holding him freaking. He freaking damn near killed him, and now he's holding him freaking hostage in a freaking prison. Gosh, it's so.
Yeah, if you know what they popped him for, right? They let him out on probation, and then they tried to poison him, and then they had to transfer him to Germany, and then he got popped for a probation violation because he didn't report to his probation officer because he was in an intensive care unit in Berlin and couldn't make it to the probation officer. So they nailed him. As soon as he came back to Russia, they nailed him for a probation violation. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. And Putin wants him to live. He wants him just to be miserable.
He can't afford for him not to live.
That's a coming scary situation over there. Putin will get what he wants, and he's working on it.
Oh, you did AIT at Ford Lost in the Woods? Yeah. I spent about 24 days at Ford Lost in the Woods, and then I went back home. But on the last day, they let me go to the PX to get some provisions for the way home, I guess. And we walk into the courtyard of the PX, and there was about 4 sections of Berlin Wall sitting in the courtyard. And they had the sergeant come walking with us, and I'm like, what the hell is the Berlin Wall doing here? And he gets his chest all big and all, and he's like, oh, we brought him down. I'm like, we brought him down? I didn't see you over there. And he looks at me. I said, I spent 3 years in Berlin. If you were there, I would have seen you.
We brought it down.
And yeah,
I
you
stepped
should
on
have
it.
you should have seen the facial expression on him at that point. Yeah.
I kicked it over with my boat.
Yeah. Good old Ford Lost in the Woods. When you get there, they give you the speech. This place, basically, the only way you get out of here is the same way you came in because we're surrounded by the woods and they don't like us. So, all right. Well, come on. We'll wrap this up. Any wise words for departing?
Kai had a bad day today. He just wants to vlog. It's good therapy. It is. It is good. I like to get out when I'm freaking like, I haven't been on a good walkabout, and that's one of the things I need to do. I keep saying it and talking about it, but saying and doing are two different things.
Yeah, my 24 days of glory were in 94.
What was I doing in 94? I was getting married, had my first kid in 95. Just got married in 94 as my first. Hopefully, my wife's not hearing me because I might be wrong and then she'll tell me.
Now, that might be a slippery slope. You don't want to screw that one up this close to Mother's Day.
I think it's 94. I'm terrible, man. All I know is Mother's Day is coming up, and I had to order a bunch of things.
You really want to make her happy, buy her some kitchen utensils.
And a vacuum. We need a new vacuum.
I dare you.
We need a new
vacuum. Buy her a new blender. I dare you.
She needs a new drone.
A new vacuum, too.
She needs a new drone for Mother's Day. Oh. Honey, I got you a Tomzon for Mother's Day.
I got you a flying pig. Yeah, that's going to go over really well.
Give her the fly. Hey, this is a flying pig. Could I have a chocolate? I didn't get any chocolate. I can go grab some of that. I got some other stuff, but I got to see my mom too. It's the old Mother's Day dilemma, mother/wife dilemma. You have to figure out how to work the time in. Get her a toothpick. See how she's. I brought up the FPV thing. I should get you some goggles. She's like, Then you could go flying with me. Nope. I'm like, okay, I do have a second set, but too bad you couldn't go on. Could you go on the public channel with the other set?
Nope.
Gosh. Freaking
If
DJI.
you both fly on V1, then I think you can.
That's so stupid. They just
go buy her some kitchen utensils, a new mixer, and vacuum cleaner, maybe a washing machine.
Too many moms. That's what Dustin says. We got moms, you got mother-in-law, mom, and mom. Get her a toothpick. Get her a toothpick quad. And
No, he says get it on floats and call it a water pick.
It's just a little one. They're cute. Look how pretty it is. Like a brooch. This isn't a quad. It's a brooch. You're supposed to wear it with a sweater. You put it right here. Oh, it's just I want you to remember me. It's a little mini. It's a brooch.
Okay, hold on. Doc Murdoch said he's been married since 1982. Doc, I hate to break it to you, but you could be out on parole by now. Just saying.
I was in junior high in 82. I was like confused and Didn't really know.
Hey, there you go. Bio whoop was pink whoops. There you go. A
Whoop
pink
around the
tiny
house.
whoop.
She can follow me around with the camera to make sure I'm working. Ben's been married since 76. Oh, my Lord. Ben, I was in second grade in 1976. Oh, that was good. I think I was in second
Oh
grade.
shit! I think
Yeah.
I might be in trouble.
What?
Mama hurt me.
Uh
Uh oh.
oh. Dustin graduated in '91.
Good thing Mama is at safe distance in New Mexico. I might have to sleep with an eye open for the next 2 months, though.
Oh, my wife doesn't mind when I buy drones. I just can't buy them like every day. I just got to. This one, this one just dropped in the mail. I don't have to pay anything for it. Those are the best kind. So
should I tell everybody about your heartfelt dilemma last night, whether or not to buy Mother's Day gift or a new microphone?
So I bought Mother's
And
Day gift.
then he goes buy his microphone anyway.
Yeah, I bought Mother's Day gift and I bought 2 microphones. I bought another one today. Shit. Oh, her wife at least is see at least Ben's wife is productive. She's making computer chips.
So if it makes Mama feel any better, I actually wrote that in somebody's card for the 50th wedding anniversary. You could have been out on parole by now.
All right, guys. On my diet, I get 30 minutes to eat left. I got till 7 o'clock to have dinner, so I got to go. I really do. I can only eat between 2 and 7, and I have not had a what I would consider to be a proper meal yet. So I'm gonna go freaking eat, no matter what Kai wants to do.
I can't duck, Doc. I mean, that don't work. I step over, I don't duck. All right. Yeah. We're way off the reservation again. At least we're not talking about urinating on each other again. I mean, come on. We're stepping it up. We're really stepping it up.
Oh man. I gotta run the stream. Kai got to get one of those signs that like he needs one of those hooks that brings him out of the picture. It's like he's gonna get one of those. I'm gonna get a hook and go.
I'm just waiting for your wife to come in one time and just come in and grab you by the ear and drag you off.
Yeah, right now she's trying. She's. I think she's on. No, she was talking on the phone. She does a lot of face chatting. My daughter likes to call. I think she drove home today. She doesn't say goodbye. She just drives home. She's rude.
Well, she doesn't let you know that she's coming either, so she just surprise.
Lee's like the vacuum cleaner idea kind of sucks. We need to get Lee. I can't.
Well, that's the idea of the vacuum cleaner for it to.
I can't make Lee a moderator. You need to make Lee a moderator on your chat stream. I think.
Yeah, I had shut everything down earlier because I couldn't.
No, so don't worry about it. I think I got it.
Let me fix that. So come here. There we go. I got it. I fixed you. Lady, you got a wrench.
There we go.
You've been wrenched.
All right. I thought that was kind of out of sorts. All righty, gentlemen. Until Friday.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Yep. There is chivalry amongst thieves.
It's time. She don't get mad, she gets even. Oh. Well, getting wrenched by me is not near as bad as you molesting the Red Devil. If you haven't checked out Sunrise latest video yet, you should. He's penetrating the Red Devil. So, all right. That's it. Any more words of wisdom? Yeah. Take care. Thank you all.
See you guys later.
Friday.
Bye.
When Dad is in charge. Bye.
Mhm.